Hello and salute everybody. So welcome back. This is my second video and I have to do this video. And I know I used to do a lot of this video about our children. Um, and I talk about one part of this before. But I am back today because there is a revelation and I heard, and this is true story. And children are saying this is happening, and I wanted to, and I know parents are struggling with this topic. So I wanted to just with all the love that I have for you as a parent, I wanted to just to shine a light and also give you an encouragement and make this as a suggestion as well. All right. So I want to talk about, our children, especially children who are rebellious, um, against their parents, especially those women of God and men of God. When you see their women of God and men of God, and then you see their children, they're in drugs and they're alcohols, and they're wearing pants all the way to their legs, and and behaving differently than the parents. You know what I mean? You say that this is a preacher or a woman of God, a man of God, but you see the children rebellion. You've seen their children in drugs. They've seen their children wearing things that they're not in church. They're not doing what, they're not, it doesn't match. It's a mismatch. And most of the time, a lot of people are blaming the parents. Most of the time, a lot of people are blaming, saying that, it's the devil or whatever it is, whatever your reasoning is. Sometimes the parents, spending so much time trying to get to the bottom of it, trying to force the children to be normal, to be at church and behave the way they behave. And it's just, it doesn't work, right? So I know there are different circumstances, different reasons for all these situations and all these scenarios, all these families. But I have learned few things, and I heard this from the children themselves, and I want to share with you because this is happening um, more often, and we have to be able to. I want you to tackle it at the source. I want to tell you what the source is. And this does not mean that that's the only source. And it may not be true for you. But I'm saying there is a source that we are tackling, we don't think about. So I want to open your eyes to think about if you have a parent, you have children that are rebellion, especially you are men or women of God, and they don't respect you, and you are struggling with them, and pain and spending money with therapy and all of that is not working. I want to give you a suggestion to try out. All right. Before I do, welcome back to Voice of Grace Global. If you have not subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe right now, share this video, like, and also check out the rest of the videos. Thank you very much for your support. So there is a young lady and a young man, and their parents obviously um, is I can't even say the first example is a limam that is Muslim, right? They were limam, they're the leader, and they are respectful men, and everybody respected them. But the children were rebellion. The children did not respect him at all, and that is something that was an issue, and it has always, why, what I mean, everybody else respects them, but when you hear the children talk about them, it's like they're putting him down. And I had to understand what the reasoning is. And the reasoning, um he said, was that he's how do I say it in English? This was in French. The father is hypocrite, because the father, we see the outside, but he sees who his father truly is. His father is not who he seems to be outside. You know what I mean? So that means that he's not himself. He's pretending to be perfect. He's pretending to be respectful. He's pretending to be this big person, this leader outside, people to see. But at home, he's terrible to his wife. He's terrible to his children. So the children sees this, and he was like, there's no way I can respect a man like that. So, but when the parent, the father is seeing this, he's not telling this to the father, and the father seeing this, they are blaming other people for the behavior of the son or the daughter, but they are the source of the problem. He is the source of the problem because he's living double life. He's showing this perfect side on outside, but then he's behaving his true self at home. And that is confusing on children. And children, they don't deal with that. You know, children are smart. When they see that, that is a problem. So that's why they don't want, he did not want anything to do with whatever the father was. He wanted to be as far from him as possible. He couldn't wait to go to school and never come back again. And with that, when they leave, they ended up doing other things and not believe in doing certain things. That's just on that side. And when it comes to men of God and women of God, the same exact thing that I hear. My father is preaching against what do you call it? Against what do you call it? Abusing wives and children. But at home, he's doing this, he's doing that. He's abusing his wife. He's abusing my mother. He's abusing us. My father is preaching against drugs and drunkenness. But at home, he's drunk. He's drinking and he's doing drugs. And he thinks we can't see it, but we see it. So my father in public, they are showing this image of themselves, but at home, they are not who they seem to be. So that's why most of the, again, I don't say everybody, most of the children, when they see that you are fishy, you are not, you are living double life, you are showing a different side of you in public and showing the worst side of you at home, children will not never respect you. They will never respect you and not let alone be part of what you do as a leader, a man or woman of God. They don't want to be part of it because children do not like that. They do not like the double life. They want consistency. So if you are, we see that, and we are paying other people to go to therapy. We are blaming their friends outside for being the problem. No, we are the problem. The problem is looking you in the mirror because they are seeing this. They don't want anything to do with it. Do you know, like a young man said that if God, if believing in God is what makes his father, he doesn't want anything to do with God. Hear me right. A son said, if believing in God is the reason, is believing God is what made his father live in double life, he doesn't want anything to do with that God. Did you hear what I said? So when we are living double life, we are cheating and lying and stealing and committing all these, things that we are not supposed to do. But then at church, we are looking perfect and white suit and preaching against the same thing that we are doing at home. Our children are seeing, they are confused. They are saying, if God, believing in God, if what you do is what believing God means, I want nothing to do with your God. That's why we see some of the children, they don't want to go to church. They ended up being in drugs. They ended up drinking. They ended up doing other things because they don't want this God who turns you into what you are to turn them into what you are. So they prefer to just do and be who they are than having to deal with your God and be like you and be like us. This is true. This is real. This is raw. This is serious. This is true. This is something we have to look into. So I have to share this with you. Anyone and everyone, women of God, men of God, if you're struggling with your children, especially when they don't respect you or they don't want to go to church, they don't do, especially men. And now we have a lot of women of God. when your children don't respect you, and you are going around and trying everything, and it's just not. Think about looking in the mirror. Think about talking to your children. Think about your life. Think about how you're living your life. Think about your messages, the image you're showing to everybody else outside. Do you have the same image at home? The same message you give everybody outside, do you give the same message at home? The way you look outside, I'm not saying physically, is that the way you look at home? So let's think about this. Let's think about this because it's very, very important. The Bible says, train your children, our children, the way they should go, and they will never depart from it, right? So it is our job to raise our children the way they should go, so that when the time comes, they know where they come from. But some of us, because of the way we live our lives, when our children, as soon as they leave for college, they don't want to come back home. They don't want to be anything like you. They don't want to be anything like us because they see where you are and they are thinking believing in God is that is believing God, and that is not. We have to stay consistent. We have to live Christ-like outside and at home. Our messages have to be consistent. If you're mismatched and confusing our children, they don't know what to do. They don't know which one is which. So they will not respect you. So if you're this big man at church and everybody respects you and bows to you, but your children are rebellious, your children are in drugs, their children are doing this and doing that, look in the mirror before you start spending so much time to therapists and blaming other people. Look in the mirror first. Have a conversation with yourself first. Have a conversation with yourself first, and fix yourself first. And then talk to your children. And if he needs to ask for forgiveness, ask them to forgive you. Ask them and explain things to them because you are responsible. They're supposed to be following us. They're supposed to know which direction to go, and we're supposed to show them the direction. But if we're showing them double direction, we are doing this and doing that, which one do we want them to pick? We are teaching them to be double-minded, to live fishy, to be one foot outside, one foot inside, even though we say we are women and men of God. So what do we want our children to know? What do we want them to learn? Who do we want them to be? The Lord created every single one individually, perfectly. We all have our ways. We all have our gifts. But it is our responsibility to lead the children the way they should go, not confuse our children. Remember, the Bible said that we should not, hurt our children. We should not be doing things that will, get them crazy, make them crazy. We're supposed to respect them. We're not supposed to confuse our children. We're supposed to live right outside and inside. The way I'll talk to my son, that's the way I'll talk to somebody I don't even know. The way I talk to my son, I'll talk the same way, the same advice I'll give him. I'll give the same advice to somebody's son I don't even know. I don't choose to say, oh, because he's my son, I'll give him different advice and give this person. No, I try to stay consistent outside and inside. Because I don't want him to be confused. The way I am outside, that's how I am. There's no, oh, this and that. No. We have to live. We have to be an example to our children. And we have to live as a woman of God or man of God. If you're a woman of God or man of God, you have to live in a way that it is attracting to your children. It is attracting to your young ladies and young men so that they want to be like you. Proudly want to be like you, not run away from you. When I say want to be like you, is respectfully and truthfully and live an honest life, respectful life, a loving life, dignity, live with dignity and respect. So this is something, it kept coming. This is something I think is over a year now. It kept coming. I did the video and I think I was too harsh. I was too harsh. And I just wanted to do this because it is important for us to know. It is important for us to understand that. And when we are outside seeing men of God, their children being rebellion and out their children, we shouldn't be quick to judge. We should just pray. We should just pray for them. We shouldn't be quick to judge that. We should just pray for this men and women of God or women, whoever they are, to recognize what the root of the issue is. And most of the time, I'm just saying that we know that most of the time it's not the therapist's job. Most of the time, it's not the money that we can throw out and send them into boarding school and send them to most expensive school and send them somewhere. No, most of the time, that's not the solution. Most of the time, the reason our children are rebellion and don't want anything to do with us and refuse to respect us is because of us. It's because of how we live our lives. It's because of our double life that we are living. The inconsistency. Looking perfect here and looking raggedy here. Our life don't match. We are being somebody else. Hey, they're at church every Sunday. Oh, don't abuse your children. But in your room, you're abusing your own children. You're abusing your wife. You say don't drink, but you have this at home. You're drinking because nobody's watching you. But your children are watching and God is watching. We say things and we are praising people at church. And as soon as we come home, we are saying dirty and speaking behind their back. And gossiping as soon as we get home. As soon as we get home, sister so-and-so at church, but this is your congregation. You come and put them all down. Your children are watching. The children are watching. The children don't want anything to do. This thing always is something, this thing that this young man said, it have always bothered me. Saying that if believing in God is that you, is what you do, is what it means to believe in God. I want nothing to do with God. That has always bothered me. It's same to your father. I'll tell my father that if you're the way you live your life, if that is what it means to believe in God, to be a child of God, I don't want anything to do with your God. Because the father was something else outside and something else at home. He was living a double life. And he wanted nothing to do with that. So let's keep that in mind. What are our children thinking about us when they are in their home, when they are talking to their friends? What are they saying about us? I want to focus specifically to women and men of God. What is it your children are saying about you? Are you the same outside, the same at home? Are you the same person? Are you the reason your child is rebellion? Are you the reason your child can't wait to leave home? Are you the reason your child don't want to come back home from school? Are you the reason your child is behaving the way they're behaving? Are you the reason for your child to be a druggie, to be a drunk? Are you the reason for the problems of your children? Are you the reason for your children hating God, staying away from God? That is the top of the question. Are you the reason your children don't believe in God, don't want anything to do with God? Are you? I want to set the ground for this, but I know we'll come back and discuss some more. But I want you to think about this. This is something we need to think about as parents. Because the solution for your children's rebellion, the solution could just be you. could just be you, and only you can change that. Please share with everyone you know, whether you like it or not. Even if you don't have children, I want you to share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and also check out the rest of the videos. But until then, I want you to stay safe and blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.